"You're trespassing. Can you even read the signs?" Her voice, sharp as broken glass, cut through the humid afternoon air, and I swear I could feel the self-righteousness radiating off her like a heat wave. This woman, with her severe bob, crisp linen shirt, and an expression that screamed, "I'd like to speak to your manager," was calling me a squatter. On my own land. My grandfather's land. The land I spent every summer on, with its tangled woods and the old creek that smelled of moss and sun-baked earth. I just stared at her, dumbfounded, a knot tightening in my gut as I looked past her perfectly manicured lawn and saw a sea of identical, beige houses, 100 of them, or maybe 99, spread across what used to be my forest. She took my silence as an invitation to escalate, didn't she? I'm the president of the Harmony Acres Homeowners Association. This property, as you can see, is a private, gated community. Your little stroll is against our bylaws. I'm calling the police. Her phone was already in her hand, her thumb hovering over the dial icon. Her eyes narrowed with a triumphant glint. A deep, heavy sigh escaped my lips, the kind that starts in your soul and carries the weight of a lifetime of suppressed exasperation. "Ma'am, with all due respect, I don't think you're going to want to do that." A little smile, a slow, predatory one, crept onto my face, a dangerous calm settling over me as the scent of fresh-cut grass and new paint mixed with the familiar aroma of the old oak trees that still stood defiantly at the property's edge. Her eyebrows shot up, a flicker of genuine surprise on her face before it was replaced by a look of sheer contempt. "Excuse me? You're telling me what to do on my property?" The gall. "Do you have any idea how much work went into this?" She gestured grandly at the pristine sidewalks and the decorative streetlights. I felt the paper-thin weight of the decades-old deeds in my back pocket, a tangible truth against her fabricated reality, and a wave of cool confidence washed over me. That moment, the one where her smug arrogance met my quiet certainty, would be replayed in my mind for weeks. The court hearing wasn't much better, at least not at first. The HOA's lawyer, a slick-haired man with a condescending smirk, laid out their case with a practiced ease, citing their purchase agreements, their permits, their surveys. I could hear the rustle of papers, the low murmurs in the gallery, the rhythmic clicking of a pen against the table. Every new document he presented felt like a fresh blow, a new piece of evidence to bury me, and my heart was pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. He even had a PowerPoint presentation, for God's sake, with aerial drone shots of the entire development, highlighting their grand, new community clubhouse, a 2-story monstrosity with floor-to-ceiling windows and a pristine pool. I swear I saw the Karen mouth checkmate from the front row, and my lawyer, a calm, grandfatherly figure, just sat there, listening patiently, occasionally nodding, making me want to scream with the sheer tension of it all. I squeezed my hands into fists, feeling the smooth leather of the chair against my knuckles, and tried to focus on the faint smell of lemon polish on the courtroom table, anything to ground myself. But then, it was our turn. My lawyer, in a slow, deliberate voice, began. He spoke of my grandfather, of the land's history, of the decades it had been in my family. And then he brought out the deeds. Not glossy, new printouts, but the actual, original documents, their yellowed parchment brittle with age, the ink faded but still legible. He handed them to the judge, who took them with a respectful reverence, as if holding a piece of history. The room went silent. The only sound was the faint hum of the air conditioning. The judge examined them carefully, running a thumb over the raised seal, his expression unreadable. And that's when the first crack appeared in their perfect facade. The judge's eyes flickered from the deeds to the HOA's lawyer, a small frown on his face. He asked a question, a simple one, about the location of a specific stone marker mentioned in my grandfather's deed. The Homeowners Association lawyer stammered, his slick smile fading. You could practically feel the air being sucked out of the room. A second later, my lawyer unveiled our twist. While everyone, including the Homeowners Association, had focused on the main boundary lines, they had completely ignored the fine print. Grandfather had set aside a small, seemingly insignificant patch of land right in the center of the property, a plot he'd intended for a future family home, and on that very spot, they had built her house. Not just the community, but her personal, multi-million-dollar mansion. The climax was breathtaking. The judge's verdict was swift and unequivocal. He upheld the validity of my family's deeds, stating that the HOA's purchase was null and void due to a clear and demonstrable lack of title. He didn't stop there. He cited the court-ordered survey, a survey the Homeowners Association had dismissed as irrelevant, which confirmed that my grandfather's original plot, the one with the old stone marker, was the very spot where the Karen's mansion and their grand clubhouse were built. The room erupted. The Karen went from a sneering caricature of entitlement to a horrified, gaping statue of disbelief. The homeowners, the 99 families she had sold a dream to, were now a mob, their whispers turning to shouts, their faces a mix of confusion and pure, unadulterated fury. What does that mean for our homes? A woman cried out from the gallery. The judge's final words, delivered with a grave finality, were the nail in the coffin. He explained that since the entire development's infrastructure, from the water lines to the main access road, was illegally constructed on my inherited land, every single one of those 99 homes was now effectively landlocked and unserviceable. Their properties were, for all intents and purposes, worthless. Their community was nothing more than a ghost town in waiting, all because of the arrogance of one woman who thought she could take what wasn't hers. The karma hit her like a freight train, her carefully constructed world of power and privilege crumbling around her, not just by my hand, but by the fury of the very people she had conned. Justice, turns out, is a bitter pill for those who think they can bend the rules. A stunning and beautiful reminder that the truth always, eventually, finds its way home.